All right. We back to Let's Talk About It. Got my good brother here, Mr. Eugene Strong Temple Porter. Come on over here. Let you get in the camera. If you're familiar with the podcast, then you've seen the last two episodes. If not, stop right now, subscribe, and then go back and watch the first two parts. Part one was I did 18 years in prison for murder I didn't commit. Then watch part two. The first part was him telling the whole story of how he went from being a young man on the street that had a record but didn't do what he was accused of. Did 18 years, and we went up into the trial. The second part is the actual trial where he detailed how people that knew the truth didn't tell the truth, and he ended up doing time for it. Watch those two, subscribe, and then come on back and watch this one. Today I got him back because we told that portion of his story. A portion that so many, unfortunately, that look like us can relate to. Maybe not specifically his situation, but it's so many that look like us that are behind those walls and have done time and come home. Some still there. Thankfully, he's one that, even from what I've seen with my own eyes, he did what he was supposed to do honorably, and from everything I see, he's respected on both sides. It's out here and behind the gates. And when guys come home that he knew, they show love, which even goes further to say that he did what he was supposed to do as a man while he was in those circumstances. Also, because he is sort of a public figure in front of people, he has a voice for others that may have a story but may not have a voice. He can speak and in a lot of ways let their voice be heard as well. So what I want to do is, first of all, thank you for coming back.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What I want to do is, we talked about you getting locked up. We talked about the trial.
Yeah.
But then you did the time. You even talked about some of the things that went on while you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to, I'll say 24 hours, but you can start where you want to. That last 24 hours, after 18 years, when you knew you were about to be back out into the land, to the world, what was your mindset at?
I say go back a little bit further, like some months before I was about to come home. I'm not sure if I had explained the months before I was about to. When you're about to come home, that's the time of trying to get everything together, where you're going to live at, you know what I'm saying, job situations, where you're going to work, what you're going to do, how you're going to eat, how you're going to live out here.
Okay.
But the biggest thing that came over me upon my about to be released was fear.
Okay, go into that. Like
my fear was, I'll never forget. I was walking the rec yard with my boxing coach and one of the old heads, Mr. Wilson. We call him Quick. Mr. Wilson, he's still doing time right now. But Mr. Wilson was a very wise old head to me. You know, he was living a system lifestyle, but he was a guy that called a spade a spade.
Okay.
One day we were walking the rec yard. I think I had just got turned down for parole for my last time because I went up. I went up one last time just because I was trying to get home a little bit sooner.
Okay.
At the time I was in a relationship with my ex-wife, so I was trying to get home.
So you had a date, but you was just trying to.
I was trying to get home. Right. Yeah, because my date was February the 2nd. February 6th, 2012.
Okay.
So 2/6/12, yeah. So my date was then, but I went up for parole in July, August.
Okay.
So if I make parole, I come
That's
home around
8
December.
months
Yeah, her birthday was in December.
Okay.
So I was trying to get.
You're trying to make it for all the festivities and things of that nature. Gotcha.
But I got turned down. We walk in the rec yard, and we had just finished working out, going through everything, and he says, "What's wrong with you?" He's like, "What's wrong? Was your vibe different today?" Nephew was because like it's different levels in prison. Like at the time I was nephew.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's pops, youngin, old school, nephew. And so he was like, "What's wrong with you?" I was like, "I'm about to get out." He said, "Yeah, that's a good thing. You know, I'm sitting here." I said, "Nah," I said, "they're going to call me a murderer." So my fear was that my charge, because I had been locked up, I wasn't going to be able to get a job.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially with that particular...
With murder on your record.
You
know, who's going to give me a job? Where am I going to work at? What am I going to do? And he told me something. He gave me words. He used to always give us little quotes, but he gave me words that to this day I hold.
Okay.
And it was, he said, "What's your name?" I said, "Coach, come on, man." Okay. I said, "You know my name." He said, "Nah." He said, "What's your name?" So I said my nickname. I said, "Smoke." Okay. He said, "Nah." He said, "What's your name?" I said, "Eugene Porter." He said, "So if I call you Jeff, you gonna answer to it?" I said, "Nah." He said, "It's not about what they call you, it's about what you answer to."
Right.
And that right there, just, it gave me something. No matter what they call me out here,
you know
is
who
I know who I am, is what I answer to.
Right.
And so that's how I ran. I used to tell my guys, when we jump out this helicopter called prison, that when we parachute, we like paratroopers, you know. When it comes to your release date, you on this helicopter, you about to jump out. And you're this paratrooper.
Okay.
When we jump out this plane, when we hit the ground, we don't have time to roll up our parachute and put it back in the bag and stuff. We got to cut the strings and start running from that point on.
Literally hit the ground running.
Yeah. And so that's basically what I did. I got home February. I obtained my first job.
Well, hold on. Because we're going to jump right back to that. But that moment when you walked through the gates, can you give me that?
Yeah.
Because that's 18 years, man. That's an adult life. The time span from a child to get to an adult, you spend a whole, you know what I'm saying, process.
My sister, my ex-wife, and their family was there.
Okay.
My nieces were there, because not only was it the day I was getting released, it was the day I was getting married.
That's right. Oh wow. How was that mentally?
I was
because for real, you're going from one thing, but you're going right into something else.
And I didn't know. All I knew was, and I say this, I was getting a lot of blessings as I was getting closer to my release date. Okay. Like, me and my ex-wife, we bought a house. You know, before I got released, I had somewhere to go. I didn't have to find out where I was going to live at. So a lot of the blessings I was getting, I attached it to a person. So I was feeling like I was getting blessed because I had her with me.
Not realizing that
the blessings come individually.
Yeah. You know, it was for you anyway.
Yeah, it's good to have somebody with you, but to share in it. But your blessings is your blessing.
If that was coming for you, it was coming regardless whether you was connected or not. Okay.
So I was happy that I was gonna get married, and then I didn't want to block my blessings by having sex without marriage.
Okay.
Because the people that I was watching religiously,
that was your mindset at the time. That's what you've been taught.
You got to get married. You know what I'm saying? And even
fornication and all that.
Yeah, even with me going through all my different religions and ways of life, it came back to, okay, like my homeboy, he used to pray with me. Like this dude, 200-something pounds muscle, and we be on a workout at the end of after we finish working out, he'd be like, "Come on, bro, we gotta pray." Okay. I'm like, the first time I felt a little uncomfortable.
Like big nigga
this time I hold my hands and pray. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, I give much respect to Big Jeff because he taught me a lot, you know what I'm saying, about the prayer life and just talking things into existence. Okay. And so, like, I was like, dang, I don't want to mess this up. So I went to the Justice of the Peace. Wow. Like, I get out about
You won't plan.
9 something. We get released like 9:30.
Okay.
So when I walk out, I see my sisters. When you walking, you wait. Now you anticipating. You got butterflies. You waiting for them to give you them brown khakis and. Okay, what you taking with you? What you leaving? I left TVs and commissary.
Okay.
Wasn't gonna look back.
You won't know that was gonna connect you.
But I kept.
Other than the connections to the people.
Yeah, kept my connections to the people. But I think for a long time, and I think even to this day, I still have my khaki shirt.
Is that like a reminder or?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
To say like you don't ever want to put this on again.
That's dope. Okay.
Yeah. I had my boots and my pants for a long time.
Just like a reminder, like.
Yeah, I don't want to put this on no more.
That's
the first day coming out, it was. I remember my first place I went to eat was over in North Carolina.
Okay.
Was at
Ryan's when Ryan's was still open. Man, you ain't good then. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That sweet butter and all that good stuff.
I remember.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I remember. My
grandma was gonna steal some chicken. We like, grandma's free. She's like, I don't care. I'm still gonna put it in my pocket, bro. Like, you ain't got to do all that, granny.
I remember the first, like I say, when I first came home, my sister, like I said, they all took me out to eat. Mm-hmm. It was just amazing to see. This is my first.
Oh man, that's your first time hitting the bed, and
that's
your bed?
Yeah, that was the bed that me and my wife.
Wow.
That was the first.
Can I see if I can put it on camera?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get a good, clear vision of that. Yeah. That's the first time being in his own bed in 18 years.
Yeah.
That's powerful to have that reminder right there.
The day, like, so, and like I say, when I got married, the day I came home.
Shaw too. Okay, that's your sister right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My baby sister.
Y'all look good. Y'all look all happy. Gee, you still look the same, man.
Yeah,
good gracious.
Yeah, a little bit more weight, but that, like, that's when.
That was your first. Okay.
Came home. Wow. So it was.
Y'all look alike too.
Yeah, that's my baby sister. She crazy. But that was. That moment I went and laid on that bed, it was like, yo, I ain't on this tumbling mat no more.
Wow. You can actually turn over and Wow.
So it was like, okay, I'm here. You know, it's over.
Okay, so let's fast forward back up. Your first job. My
first job was that I went to the temp services and I finally got a call back. My first job was at Toll Brothers.
Okay.
Through the temp service.
Okay.
I got hired March the 9th. My birthday was on March the 8th. I started my first job on March the 9th.
Okay. Wow.
2012. And it was the fact that people was like, oh, you can't get no jobs and all this stuff.
And you came right in.
I came right in.
Got one. Okay.
You know, so that was a thing too. And after the first couple of weeks, it was hard work.
I'm sure.
But then I was seeing how much money to go from making $500 a year to making $400 a week. Shit. That was a lot of money.
Man. Yeah, 500. See, a lot of people don't think about it like that.
Yeah, that's
all that adds up to is about. Man, that's crazy. Yeah. Go ahead.
So when I started working a real job and stuff, I had no problem with work because I worked every job in prison that you can have. And
if you could do it for pennies, you could do it for that.
You could do it for some money, for some dollars.
Right.
And then even like the pay balance had changed. It didn't change much, but I was making $9 an hour.
Okay.
From 23 cents an hour.
Oh man, you was rich.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
So, and I came in and I was taking care of all the bills, everything. I was doing what I was taught.
You thought that was what you were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as a man, you provide. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Learn how to drive again.
Wow.
So those experiences, I remember like, one time I was driving, my wife let me drive her little Saturn. And I was so excited at the same time. I seen somebody that I knew because I'm not from this town. So I did some dumb stuff.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, it's like,
you forgot you driving this.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was those experiences of learning.
So, but that's crazy how, okay, because what age were you when you went in?
17.
17. So you pretty much had to pick up from 17 on some things.
Yeah, you had to learn all those things. Cause
a lot of people don't factor that in.
Yeah,
like you literally picking back up. You took a break. Not a, like a,
yeah. I mean that's
a break.
That's the reality of it.
Wow.
And like I try to explain to people now, and some people disagree with it. Some people, but whatever age you are when you go to prison, that's the age you are when you come out.
Now, the people disagreeing, people that have done time?
No, not really.
Well, they really can't.
They really,
I couldn't tell you that because I haven't done time.
But it's more so how people look at us.
Okay.
And when I say us, I mean that I'm not allowed to make the same mistakes that you make out here because I'm grown now.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? That's how the world civilization looks at you.
Not factoring in.
Yeah, that I missed
It's a gap.
Yeah. So
it's a learning curve for you.
Yeah, so I'm not allowed to date. Oh, you 40 years old. You 45. You should be.
But not realizing the last time you dated, I was 17. Last time I was with, I was 7.
Yeah. So they do that to a lot of guys, a lot of people that come home and they're like, yo, you should know better.
They don't understand that gap.
Yeah.
It's hard to fathom if you've never had to, like I say, I know what you're saying, but I didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So whatever age you are when you go to prison, that's the age you are when you come home.
Wow.
Though that's the age you are mentally.
Okay.
And though you may be able to use tricks and trades differently that you learned in there, like, yes, I was able to come out and work. Yes, I was able to think business because that's what sit there and study.
And we're gonna get to all the business.
I'm gonna
get to that.
It's stuff like this that keeps me going. Let me hear something real quick. This is the stuff that right here. I just want to let you hear this. This is the stuff that keeps me when I want to give up. When I want to give up, this is the stuff that keeps me going.
Yo, what you up to, bro? Yo, I just want to say, well, I'm proud of you. I don't know what drove you to do what you doing, man, and how you got it going on when you was locked up. Maybe you had a vision. I don't know what it is, but you're proud of you, boy. Moving out strong.
That's from that side?
Nah, this is the dude that came home. He was locked up.
Oh, the cat that, okay.
This is another guy. He got the street beefs.
Okay. Wow, bro. Wow. That's motivation right there.
Yeah, when I get a message
that's
like that, just
right
straight out the bat, like
out the blue, just letting you to give you your flowers.
Yeah.
Wow. It's good when others see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, especially since they can relate to that particular journey.
To the whole journey.
You know what I'm saying? I respect what you do on a man level from what I've known of you, but some took that journey with you. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful, bro.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
So it's things like that, like you say, what coming out and learning that there's two different worlds.
Yeah, we've talked about some of that.
Yeah,
okay,
like I can't go around punching people in the face. You can't solve every problem. People are cowards out here. So they're gonna talk about you and you can't straighten it.
So what you're saying is in prison, for every action, you already knew what that consequence was.
You know.
If you did certain things, you already knew,
you know.
and pretty much it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But out here, they can be snakes, shuck and jive, and before you can get to them, they'll run and tell on you.
Yeah, you have to make a real conscious decision.
Look, it's been some times you hit me up and frustrated.
Yeah.
But I respect the fact that you, even though you probably had a right to lash out in certain instances, you never done it.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot, man.
Yeah.
I respect
and
that.
when you grew up around in the animal kingdom.
That's serious.
Yeah, you grew up around predators and prey and knowing the difference.
Okay, so you can spot.
Yeah, and then you have to be the different. Like my female friend, she says a lot of times that I'm too nice or I'm too open, and it comes from a place where I was mean or I didn't smile, and not directly. I didn't just be mean like that, but it was.
You had to adjust to your environment.
Yeah, I couldn't take a lot.
Okay.
Because when you waking up every morning and you're not supposed to be in this place.
That's why, G, I don't understand how you ain't lose your mind, bro. Like,
and
knowing every day for 18 years, if anybody's supposed to be here, I know I'm not.
Yeah.
Maybe some of y'all too, but I know I ain't supposed to be here.
Yeah, when you wake up in that reality. And then you see as time has went on, and Virginia's proven like I can say 3 guys right now who've come home. No, 4. The Virginia 3 by themselves. And then Nino, guy, he just came home.
Okay.
And then Catchmore, like all these guys coming home who didn't directly or didn't do crimes.
Wow. And did
years. And I know wake up 2 years later, they found out. We talking about decades.
That's heavy.
Like
you said, you were doing time back when it was.
Yeah.
Back then when it was still like we have correctional facilities and still some prisons, but you came in before the correctional facilities
came. Off now. I'm sorry, they do a lot of crying and stuff that we wasn't allowed to do. A lot of running to your mama on the phone.
Okay. And like you said, you came in at a time where it was really rules.
I didn't.
It's or at least some type of code.
Yeah, it's sad and it helped me. I did not talk to my mother for 10 years.
Damn. Why? Purposely or?
Nah, it was indirectly. Like she got tired of coming to see me. It broke her down some.
Okay.
And I think she couldn't cope no more.
And that's part of it. People have to consider too.
Yeah.
The effect it takes on family.
Yeah, because one of the classes I took, Victims Impact, with Ms. Lee, was there's a victim to every crime.
Okay.
So just because my crime against you doesn't just affect you.
Right.
It affects your family. Then it affects my family.
Right.
So what if we could just pause in that moment before we get to doing something stupid and see like, yo, what's it really all about?
Is it that serious?
Yeah. Because
a lot of times it's not. It's a lot of times it ain't that serious, man.
I told a guy the other day, I talked to a lot of people like, and I was talking to some people and I was explaining that directly or indirectly, 75% of men that are in prison for trying to impress or do something with a woman.
I absolutely believe that.
Whether you were selling, most times some guys selling drugs because they feel, but you're trying to have their cars and stuff.
You want to have that look, that image to get the girls.
You and dude get the scuffling because he did something in front of a girl or a woman. And now you done shot him or he done shot you. Another girl.
That's crazy.
So when you look at each and every thing is, and not to place blame on the female, but a lot of things we do like peacocks. We want our feathers to be
fan your feathers.
Your feathers.
I got the best feathers out here. And it's instinctual,
Mm-hmm.
but we also have to have that logic.
Yeah, that's the part that we look.
And that's what separates us from the animal, the real animals out here in the wilderness.
Logically think so.
They go on just instinct. We have the logic, and a lot of times
a quote people always somebody always say, "Man, you mad today?" No, okay. I'm not mad because animals get mad.
Okay, I like that.
I don't get mad. Do I get upset, disappointed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right. But you don't get mad.
I don't get mad.
I like
because when you get mad, then you turn into an animal, and you can't understand or capable of what you are going to do.
Yeah,
if you get mad.
You're not using this at all. Then yeah.
So are you gonna get upset with people? Yeah, because it change the friction, the energy. But don't never let nobody get you mad.
That's good, G. That's good. Okay, let's fast forward. From after Toll Brothers, what did you do?
I told brother I kept getting laid off.
Oh man! So you actually got hired through Toll Brothers? That was still temp. Okay.
And I get laid off, and I would come back, laid off, and then come back, and people were amazed. People like, Gene, how you keep coming back? Because once you get laid off from Toll Brothers,
they don't bring you back. Wow.
I said, because I'm connected to the source.
Come on, talk about it.
I said, this ain't my wake up every day. I do this because it's a job, but it's not. If I don't have it, I'm still gonna be taken care of. When I left Toll Brothers for good, I went in and I put in the application at the apartment complex, because people know me just as the gym guy, the personal trainer, the coach.
Mm-hmm. They don't know stuff came before that.
Yeah, they don't know that I have 4 trades.
What? Go ahead, talk about it.
I'm an HVAC technician.
Damn, Gene, I didn't know that.
Certified.
All the years I know you, I didn't know that. Go ahead.
I'm a certified HVAC technician. What else? Commercial cleaning, certified.
Yeah.
I can start my own business with my commercial cleaning.
Right.
I'm auto mechanic, certified.
What?
Yeah, all that stuff that and for them when they think I'm lying about being a certified HVAC technician.
This is the real deal. Damn, Gene. Okay.
Yeah, certified HVAC tech. Yeah, HVAC technician. But
that's impressive, man.
Those were not the things. I got 30 college credits.
Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know. Okay,
yeah.
Go ahead.
So those are the things that when people say like, oh, you just do the gym. I do the gym because that's what the universe pushed me to.
But you had other options.
Yeah, my first other job was I was a maintenance man. So what happened was I put in my application at apartment complex in Jared. And
I think you were working there when I met you. I think. But keep going.
Yeah, I put in the application there. And when I put in the application, life and death is in the power of tongue. I prayed over the application. I said, God, do for me what you did for the children of Israel.
Okay.
I said, put a protective cloud around me.
Okay.
Let nobody see me. What happened was they did a background check.
Okay, go ahead.
They did a background check on me.
Mm-hmm.
The paperwork came back, said I hadn't had a charge in 100 years.
100 years? You been on earth? Good gracious. Wow. Okay.
It showed nothing of that I just had came home a year before for murder.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So they never even tripped over.
No.
Wow.
And then that was tough because I was this young looking guy working in an apartment complex. I still had that prison glow, so everybody like, oh, this young, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of stuff that was pushed at me, and I can't punch you in the face. I gotta be, I gotta walk away. I gotta just do, you know what I'm saying? So those things. And when I left there, I went and started working for my little big sister, for Rotunda.
Okay.
And Rotunda gave me another opportunity as a community type activist, outreach guy, talking to the community, doing a lot of things. She did that for me. then when she was trying to take me to the next level, they did a background check. But she already knew my situation because I told her. But for Magellan stuff, you had to do a background check. And they do your fingerprints. And it came up. And so at the time I was hurting because now I'm losing jobs.
And there's nothing she could do about it.
She couldn't stop.
It's not like she didn't
because
want you
they said that I had a barrier crime. And so certain crimes, like a barrier crime, murder is a barrier crime where it doesn't go nowhere.
That affect you whatever job you try to get.
If you're trying, especially when you're trying to do it in mental health.
Okay.
Issue. And so they was like, she had to let me go. But she pushed me, she kicked me. She said, bro, she said you can do, because I was doing personal training part-time then.
So when I met you, had you started doing the personal training yet?
I was doing it just a little bit at the Boys and Girls Club. Yeah, I was just doing it.
Keep going.
Cause and that's who she, matter of fact, she got me the job at the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay, so let's go into, because it's like you're entering into it's like you working, but you get into the personal training space. You're doing both. Talk about how that's progressing. I know you just spoke about she got you the job there. Talk about.
Okay, so with the personal training part wasn't intentional.
That's why I want to. That's why I was.
Yeah, it wasn't. Now back when I was in prison, I wanted to do a program for guys coming home with boxing.
Okay.
Put them in I wanted a gym, but I wanted to do boxing.
Boxing gym, right?
So when I was working out at a gym at Build a Body
on Main Street.
No, this was before that. It was on Atlantic Street. I came home one day. It was on Atlantic Street first. Yeah, right in the middle cut.
I didn't even know that. I don't think. Okay, go ahead.
And I was working out over there, and the first guy came, and he was like, "Man, can I work out with you?" I was like, "Yeah." I was so excited. I went home and told my wife, I was like, "Man, I found a gym. You know, I can go and work out at. Okay. Because I couldn't afford the Y. Yeah. You know, so I had a stretch at the Y when I was working, but they auto draft and all that, and the Y I couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I kept getting laid off.
And if you got an overdraft fee or whatever, or return fee, they want that too.
Yeah, so I couldn't afford it, so I stopped, and I was like, I gotta find somewhere else to work out. And I ran up on Build a Body, and I started working out there. And I came home, I told my, I got a gym to work out at, and I might can start training there because ain't nobody there's a 24-hour gym. Okay. So, boom. That's when he moved to Main Street. Okay. So he moved to Main Street. I moved there, you know what I'm saying? Met another guy, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we started working out together. We started training people. He was doing more training than I was, really. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it when I was, my other job, I was working at Shoes at the time. When I met you, I was working at Shoes.
I didn't know you worked at Shoes.
Yeah, I was on that truck, delivering furniture. Wow. And so I used to get off work, but only reason I had to do something different because I didn't know what time he was getting off work. Sometimes people order some furniture. With the furniture you delivering, yeah, deliver you. You be out there late. Yeah. So I was like, this ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't do the personal training part. Mm-hmm. So I was going deeper into the personal training. When Rotunda was like, when I had to leave, she was like, you just do your personal training. You're good at it. You can do it. And so that's when I went back outside and was training outside.
And real quick, pause right there. It's value to having people believe in you. Mm-hmm. Some people take it for granted, and because a person can't necessarily fix your situation, you don't value the fact that they believe in you. Mm-hmm. Anytime a person can take a moment out of what they got going on in life and say, no, keep going, you should value that. Keep going.
And that's what she did. She pushed me. And I was riding around in my little Sienna minivan with all the equipment in the back. Wow. I would pull it out and work out with people. Okay. And it grew.
People don't really, see, I'm trying to reiterate it that you really built this from the ground up. Yeah. Because you literally was outside in the weather. People don't understand that, they might see where you're at now, but they don't understand.
Take it for granted.
He was on the steps, in the grass, at the pavilion. Keep going.
Yeah, the pavilion.
Making it up as you was going. Yeah. It ain't like you had courses already. No. You literally was freestyling it. But go ahead.
What made me... I got certified for the haters. Because like
sometimes you got to get the paperwork just
to
shut them up
because of the fact that I knew how to work out. Mm-hmm. That was a part of the thing I did in prison was working out and working out exercise with guys. That kept me through. But I started hearing, he just doing a prison workout with y'all.
Well,
he ain't even certified.
Our people, man.
And so I was like, so I talked to my aunt, who's very business minded, and she was like, you gotta get your certification. What you need to do? I was like, well, I gotta find a course to take. So she said, okay, you find a course, I'll pay for it.
That's love. Okay.
So she paid for my course, I got certified. Then after getting certified, then I started watching YouTube, and the man said, if you're a personal trainer, you really don't need to have to be quote unquote certified, because it's people coming to you what you're doing.
Because they already like what you're doing. Yeah. They don't care whether you...
Yeah.
I want to learn. I see what you're doing. You're getting results. Show me.
Yeah.
That's all the certification I need. Yeah. Go ahead.
And that's what they was saying. That's what the YouTube video said. And I was like, I don't pay this money now.
And I'm going to jump in. When I knew you were different as far as working out, I still remember when I met you, there was a show. You know, I'm familiar with working out. Mm-hmm. Familiar with different variations. But it was a show to exercise you had told me to do that I had never thought of and never heard of. I was like, oh, this guy different.
Yeah.
And it was simple now that I think about it. I was like, why did I never even think about that? Mm-hmm. Go ahead. And so this I knew you was creative. I'm like,
and that was the thing. With a little bit of nothing, I was able to. And then I had to learn the business part of it after, you know what I'm saying? Because to be totally honest, I never really wanted to be a personal trainer.
Wait a minute. As good as you are, hold on, G.
I never.
That's your shit. I mean, that's what you do.
It's my gift and my
when you leave here, you got to go back and personal train.
Yeah, but that wasn't. It was plenty of times that I wanted to quit.
Okay.
Because of, again, the hate. I'm not a conflict person.
Okay.
I can resolve the conflict,
but I'm not about a bunch of back and forth.
That.
Either we gonna do something or we not.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, and so with me not being a conflict guy, it was like all the people talking about like, and my friend, she says like, oh, you need validation from people, and we had to have a talk about this the other week. It was, I said, you know what, I had to one of them times when I had to back then I said, you maybe write a little bit, and the reason why I say this is that all my life, my name has been associated with wrong.
Okay, talk about it.
So I was a bad kid. I was the runaway. I was the drug boy. I was this.
According to the system, you're a murderer. According to them, you know.
So my name was always associated with something bad. Mm-hmm. But to now be Strong Temple. Yeah, a little bit times I do want my praise. I want it to be known that before I came to Emporia, before I really put it down, who was really doing this?
Talk your talk, man. Yeah. Listen.
I'm the only USA boxing, certified USA boxing coach.
And you've trained?
Yeah.
Kids and all the way up to adults you've trained.
I have kids in college that call me and send me videos, coach.
The young man that came in the gym the other day.
Yeah.
Full-blown athlete that you...
Those are the things.
You got him right.
And you know what he did last week?
What did he do? He tore him up.
16 yards. 16 carries. 16 carries. 113 yards. 40-yard TD pass.
I'm not surprised you.
And a touchdown.
That boy, he looked like an athlete.
And he didn't even play the fourth quarter most because he was cramping.
Wow. You put together athletes, man. And he's not the only one.
Yeah.
I've seen other ones come through that. You got pictures on the wall of guys you've trained. Keep going.
And so it was those times when I wanted to quit that is those that push me and say, because like I said, I asked God, like even when I still have the letter that I texted God in my phone, asking, like people be like, man, you don't go around asking for a lot of stuff, and won't you get such and such to help you, won't you? I told God, God created Strong Temple.
Okay, talk about it.
He woke me up 2:30. Me and the other guy, we was together, and when we separated, we had another name, Kingdom Builder, which was his name, his title. So when I said, God, you want me to keep doing this, the universe, you want me to keep doing this, what are we gonna call it? And it was something with the temple, because the temple is the body. Okay, temple what? Happy temple, something temple what?
Right.
And then it was said strong. So I was like, strong. The S was standing. The G was God.
You just had to fill it in.
So I was like, so I went to sleep that Friday. I woke up 2:30 that Saturday morning. And the T was together.
Standing together.
The R was relying. I said, what's the O? He said, put it together, on. Standing together, relying on God.
Wow. Just like that.
And I took it and I ran.
Powerful, man. And just saying it be some strong temple.
Yeah.
It's like a noun and a verb and everything. I might be wrong. I wasn't the best English person, but an adjective is all that in one because it describes different things.
And we stand together, whether you call them Allah, Buddha, Jesus, we all stand together and we rely on God. Whether it's the God that's in us.
And that's crazy you say that. I was riding earlier. It was nice cool breeze this morning. I'm riding to go pick up my load. And I said, I finally realized what I'm trying to do. You know, people believe in so many different beliefs now. And I don't let anybody box me in, but I said, what I've been trying to do is connect the God in me to the God outside of me. You know. But for years we only taught about one. And I ain't going into all that. And then sometimes we'll separate from the universe and we'll just say it's just me. No, I'm trying to connect
the two.
What's in me to the energy outside of me. Because it's all the same.
To get that entity together.
It's all the same.
To have that energy, to realize what you put out. Are you going to have some negative?
Absolutely, man.
But the thing about it is the sign of the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
Inside of the good is a little bit of evil. Inside of evil is a little bit of
good. It's all necessary.
It's necessary.
All necessary.
And so that's how Strong Temple really took off. Okay.
Let's go from, because you didn't have the building when you first got the name, right? So let's go from you working outside, you have the name. Some people stay, some going, you know, people can be fickle. Some might feel like they have a valid reason. So if you're watching, I'm not saying your reason is not valid.
Yeah.
I'm just saying from me knowing him, he's solid.
Yeah.
Whatever okay. But tell me how you went from it being outside or being at the Boys and Girls Club
to the building
to where you at now. And how that is evolved. We start with that.
We used to walk all the time. I used to walk people. I walked Emporia like I knew it.
Man.
Like I was from it. Right. We used to walk. And one time we walked past this building. We walked past Halifax Street.
Okay.
And I looked, because the clients at the time was like, you need to get a building. You know what I'm saying? You could do so much more with a building. And I was like, okay. So then anytime I get a request, I start asking God. I start asking the universe, like, okay, what's the next step?
Work it out, yeah.
We walked past the building, and I said, is this it? He said, yeah. So we got on it. I got one of my old clients, Miss Tina, said, call, find out who's the owner. I met with the manager. He told me, like, we're going to be ready some months later. We should be finished by January. November, January, we should be finished. I was like, okay, what I'm going to need? We need $1,000. Rent going to be $1,000. We need $1,000 deposit.
So 2 stacks out the gate.
Which I have.
You had a dream with no means. Phew.
So, come on. My first thing we did, they kept, well, how can we raise this money? How can we raise this money? We did a raffle.
Okay.
We did a raffle first, and I raised some money. I reached out to my aunt, who always believes in me. She sent me some money. She sent me $1,000. I think we raised We raised 13. She sent me 1,000.
Okay.
And I was going around. I had made a proposal. And I was going around to different businesses and saying, like, if you sponsor a piece of equipment, your people can join the gym for a year at $10 a month. You could join Strong Temple.
You can't beat that at all.
Yeah, so I had a few people who, but the one who, and people may look at, I call him, he's like my big brother.
I already know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
People may look at him strange, but I went to, it was the third time. I had went one time, he wasn't there. I went the second time, he wasn't there. The third time I went, because of persistency, the third time I went, I asked the secretary, I says, Mr. Pearson here? She said, yeah, he's here. Mr. Pearson, the man with the proposal is here. He's like, all right, send him on over here. I went over, I sat down. And he says, I showed him, he read the proposal. I said, yeah, so this is my thing. This is what I want to do. I want to open a training center for people. You know, it's okay. How does it work? I said, well, you tell me your 5 goals and I'll help you reach them. He said, yeah. He wrote his 5 goals down on a piece of paper, a yellow piece of paper. Mm-hmm. He wrote the goals down and slid it over to me. I picked it up and I looked at it. Me knowing my skills, I was like, he said, can you do this? I said, it's easy.
And for those that don't know, that might be listening, some familiar, some not, for context of the story, Mr. Pearson is one of the two black-owned funeral homes that we have in this town. He's in one of them, and they've been around for years. Mm-hmm. Been in business for years. Go ahead.
And he, when I said that, he was like, well, I only can work out early mornings because the funeral homes is like, I said, okay, we can start at 5 o'clock in the morning. So he's like, 5 o'clock in the morning? I said, meet me at the steps.
He won't expect you to, it sound like he won't expect you to call his bluff. Come on.
He said, okay, well, we can start Monday. This was on like a Tuesday. This was like middle of the week. He said, I said, no, we can start tomorrow.
It's a lesson in that, y'all. You were prepared for the opportunity.
Yeah.
When it came. Whatever he came with, because you knew what you wanted to do, whatever he threw at you, oh, no, we're going to do it. We're going to speed that up. Show him how eager you were to be ready for the opportunity. Keep going.
And so he wrote me 2 checks. He folded them and he gave them to me. I didn't look at the checks.
Okay.
I folded them up and I put them in my pocket. I said, I need you to come and see my vision. He said, all right. I said, follow me down the street. He said, where's it located? I said, it's right down the street from
Right down the street.
We went, pulled up. He went in. It was wires hanging. The drop ceiling wasn't finished. None of that. He said, okay. I said, this is my vision. It's gonna be great. He said, okay. He left. I looked at the checks. He wrote me 1 check for $300 and 1 check for $700.
Wow. So $1,000. Wow.
Didn't know me from a hole in the wall.
So that was your first time you had ever met him?
That was the first time I ever saw that man.
And to this day, he works out with you?
Every morning.
Wow. That's powerful, man. Yeah. That's why it's no excuse. Like, you were having to come home and attempt to do business with total strangers.
Because I'm in a town where I'm not from.
't So you were familiar with Emporia, but these business owners and stuff.
I didn't.
You know them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when he said when he was playing checkers, I was playing chess.
And from the way the conversation went, even everything is like you were prepared, even down to not looking at the checks yet. It's almost like, I'm gonna show you this ain't even about the money right now. I want to show you this. Man, that's good, Gene. That's good. And okay, Brad.
Ever since then, and so, like I said, first I had little pieces of. It was so crazy. Let me tell you, when it really became a reality that it was gonna happen, I started buying equipment. I had equipment on the back deck of my house covered up.
Wow. Just getting it together.
Yeah, not even sure if I'm really, but I was buying pieces of equipment.
That's a serious leap of faith, Gene.
And it was covered up on the deck of me and my ex-wife's house.
So you hadn't even secured the building at this point, but you were still preparing.
Still preparing.
Keep going, Gene. This is good, man.
I bought different pieces. I was buying pieces of equipment. I had met a guy, Mr. Beats. I would buy one piece of equipment, he'd give me two. Weights and everything. I was just buying just little pieces, and it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, they had
yeah.
There used to be a police officer.
Yeah, it used to have a gym.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was buying to the point that me and the other gym, we had a falling out. The other guy that owned the gym, but it was so crazy. I'm gonna tell you how people don't even know how, like, I tell people all the time, or people don't understand when they say, touch not my prophet.
My anointed.
Touch not my anointed.
My prophet no harm. Yeah.
Like, I hold that scripture. Because when you think you're going to do something to me,
you protect it.
Be careful. Because your whole world can...
You flipped upside down. Look, I get it.
The guy, when he kicked me out of the gym, you know what I'm saying, the other gym, out of Bitter Body, all of a sudden, there is no Bitter Body.
That shit sure did disappear. They ain't rename it, they ain't move it. Well, they might have moved it, but it's ghost, never to return. Keep on. Strong Temple still here, though. Keep on.
And it was so crazy. One day I was riding that. Now, he's a police officer.
Yeah.
I'm riding down Halifax Street. He's coming towards me, and he flashes lights. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? Police flashes lights. You know what I'm saying? You know my situation.
Yeah.
But I pull over. He gets out, he says, you know you about to do a gym. He said, I got some dumbbells behind my gym. You can have them.
What?
He's like, you go over there right now. So first I'm like, man, you can get me over here. Say I'm behind the gym. Say I'm behind the gym stealing these weights.
Yeah.
He's like, just go over there. I'm gonna meet you over there. So I went, because I didn't want to be disrespectful. I went. I said, okay. Got over there. True fact, it was dumbbells. It was like 5 sets of dumbbells.
Wow.
There.
He just gave them to you.
And he said you can have them. But me being me, I still.
But what about the other cat? He didn't care about that. He just gave.
He just gave it. I gave him $40 for him. Wow. I gave him $40 for about $200 worth of dumbbells.
That's serious, G. Okay.
And all I could hear while I was driving was, "I'll make your enemies your footstools."
That's what I'm saying. That's strange, bro. That's a weird twist of events. Just, of course, we're not gonna tell all the details to certain stuff, but just knowing what we know, that's interesting how that played out, man. Wow.
And so, like, it was just, that's why I say everything. When we go to the business part of,
okay,
I've been in there, and my account got messed up, and I had no more than $800 in my account. And I had $3,000 worth of bills. And I can say to this day, not a light, a water. I ain't never missed a payment on it.
Even through the pandemic. But we gonna get there. We gonna get there.
Yeah.
Okay. As you get the gym open, what kind of things did you learn business-wise from not even having a business to now I got a business? What did you learn about how to structure it, what to do with your money? And because, like I said, not just for us, but like you said, you got guys coming out need to know some of this stuff too. Yeah. And even us out here, we need to know this.
With the business part of it, let your business be your business.
Explain what you mean.
And like, are we all gonna make mistakes in business? True fact.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But with your business, I tell all my kids, I tell everybody, Gene not perfect.
Right.
Gene gonna make some mistakes. I'm gonna make mistakes because of my life, my knowing mistakes and my unknowing mistakes. Gene not perfect, but Strong Temple is.
Okay.
The brand is. You can't argue and say I'm not the best personal trainer in a 100-mile radius. You can't say that.
So prove him wrong, and nobody, even when he puts the offer out, nobody proves him wrong.
So with that part of it, the brand speaks for itself. You know, so it was things I had to learn about taxes and paying yourself. Things that nobody teaches us or nobody wants to give us.
At all.
People feel like if I give you these nuggets of gold, instead of you building them up and then come back and replenishing me, you just gonna take off running with it. So we're afraid, we keep everything to our chest, that's why we don't have nothing. And I tell everybody, money don't mean nothing to me. If a person really knows me and they find out, money don't mean nothing.
I've seen it.
I mean, from people, the part that gets me in the business part is, and you probably see this in it, you want a deal from me, but you'll go to Walmart and pay whatever they tell you. I've had so many people come in and say, now my membership $20 for basic, 24 hours, $25.
Only $5 more. Keep going.
Personal training, $25 to $35 a week, depending on what you're training for. Oh, I can't get a deal?
Go to the Y.
Yeah.
You gonna pay that for, you getting 3 things, they gonna pay that one price just to join.
Mm-hmm. And so with that,
and even the benefit they get, if you're in the gym, you're not gonna let them fail.
No.
So even if you're not, and I'm not saying this to hurt you, pay for the personal training.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get more. But if you're in there and he's in there while you're working out and you need something, he's not gonna not help you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna let you.
Just because you ain't paid him.
I might not say nothing to you. I might look at you.
It's times I be on the bench and I'm like, and I can handle it, but it's times I be on the bench and he'll just know instinctively, come spot him. And I ain't called him. He'll be up front talking, and I get up under something that I might not have lifted in a while. Before I know it, he walking around, and he walk at the right time because I might get 1 or 2 out, and then I get stuck. I'm like, thank you, Gene. Because like he knew he about burnt out or whatever he know when to come.
I see.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? And with the business of it, when you really learn your craft, and you invest in it more, that's when you reap the benefits of it. It's sometimes, like I was telling a guy today, sometimes I can sit in the dark in Strong Temple and just be thankful.
Okay.
Because everything in there is owned by us. Only people we owe is the rent man.
That's dope. And for anybody that's a member, and look, you're supposed to give people their flowers. That's sometimes when I'm in town, I ain't been the places I go. I'm either here at the office, maybe at my sister's. Got an aunt that stays here. When I get a chance to see my oldest 2 kids, or I go to the gym. Even if I ain't per se working out, it's just an energy, it's a calmness. And I just go sit there and vibe for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what some people be like, man, people just come in here and sit down.
Yeah. It's therapeutic for some reason.
Yeah, that's what it's built off of. The right spirits being there. You burning sage, yeah. Get out.
Yeah, get the wrong ones up out of here.
Yeah, if you cough too much, it might be something wrong with you.
You the demon.
Yeah. But so learning business and the trials of it, the money part.
I was gonna say, what's some of the as far as personally, okay, what's some of the things some of the most difficult things you had to learn about that? But then too, what's some of the obstacles you face as a business in a small town?
The
Go ahead.
one part I learned, pay yourself.
Okay.
So many times people feel like all that money is yours.
So explain pay yourself, because we hear the term, okay, if I get $1,000 in, I'm just giving an example. How does paying myself look out of that?
pay yourself at least $200. If you get $1,000 a week,
so the whole $1,000 not yours.
Mm-mm.
You decide a percentage of that.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Pay yourself that $200.
Okay.
Because the tax man will get 40 of it. So now you got 160 to play with, and to make sure your stuff right. But don't get caught up in all this money mine, and then you get four. And then I had to learn this I've been in business since 2016. I've been in brick and mortar. I started in 2014 totally with Strong Temple.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been in brick and mortar since 2016.
Okay.
It wasn't until 2021 that I started paying myself.
Listen, Jay, and here's the thing, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then even with you saying that, how do I start separate? Because I'm already caught up paying my bills with this money. So how do I pull back now and say, okay, so now let me do it this way?
So the money the money that you're paying your bills, that's your paycheck.
Okay.
So if your rent is $600 and your light bill is $100, your water bill $50. So again, you pay yourself $900 or $1,000.
So whatever amount your bills is, you take that out of your.
That's what
you pay yourself.
And one of the things that I've learned, and I'm gonna tell you this is what I do. People be like, I pay myself $1,000 a month.
I mean, you was telling me this the other day. Go ahead.
So after the $1,000, I may bring home 8, 9, depending on what the taxes be, what FICA and all them people be taking. And I would take that money. That's the month that I had to pay for rent and all that stuff. But I would get that 8. I would take 200 and put in my personal account, and I put the other 6 back in the business account.
So really, they end up taxing the same money. I'm trying to. Okay.
Over and over again.
Okay. That's. Where'd you learn that from?
Trial and error.
That's interesting.
I asked the question. I asked my accountant the question, and they said, "Yeah, you can always loan your business money."
That's a tool, y'all.
You can always loan your business money.
That's good. Okay.
And then if you want to get systematic about it, at the end of the year, you can write off what you loaned the business.
I need to talk to your accountant.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's good stuff. That's information they don't just give us. They don't teach us this in school. They might not even, I don't know, they might not even teach this in college.
They do it all the time, though.
That's how they doing it. And see, that too, a lot of times, yes, racism exists. Prejudice exists. Sometimes us not knowing the rules and how to play the game is why we lose. It ain't always racism. It factors in. Sometimes we just don't know how to play the game. And that's how we lose. A lot of times we can play by the same tax codes and structure our businesses and stuff the same way the man does it. We just don't know. We don't have the information. Okay, so with Strong Temple, going forward, I just want to highlight some of the things that you got going on now. How has it grown? What's some of the programs and things that you've had and some that you have in place and different things that you do
up and
in the community?
Up and coming, we have the in September the 25th. Yeah,
that weekend.
Yeah, September 25th, we're doing the second annual 5K. The first black-owned business that has ran or operated or been in control of the 5K walk run.
Let me tell you,
Peanut Festival
in Virginia. For those that know, y'all know, but for anybody watching, in our town in Port Virginia, every year they have what's called the Peanut Festival. Parade, different things, different activities that go along with it. Usually there's a race that another company had for a while, a good little while. When the pandemic hit, I don't know if that's what made them not do it.
They said they
didn't want to do it. And I don't know if they thought that when things lifted up, they just was going to give it back to them. Gene was presented with the opportunity really at a short notice to put this race together. So he did the first race last year, and now he has the second one he's doing this year. And in a town this size, when most things are ran by people that don't look like us, for him to be able to do that, that's a big thing. That's a big deal. Especially for him not to be from Emporium.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm grateful for that opportunity to do that. We're giving away prizes. I have bikes.
Shout out some of the sponsors, man, if you can.
Oh.
If you think you're going to leave something out, I don't want people feeling no way. But,
yeah, but right now, and there's many more that's coming. We got real estate lady Katrina Newsom. We got.
I hope to have her up here at some point.
We got From Start to Finish. Return. We got Pearson Funeral Home. Mm-hmm. Who else just gave me something? Oh, Mia with Care Kids. Mm-hmm. Arby's.
Okay.
We got some. Miss G gave us some discount cards or some. What's that from? Starbucks.
You say Pooh doing the basket.
Pooh gonna do the baskets. We got.
She need it back.
Or from TSOV. Those just a few, and it's still some more people who's saying like, yo,
they can contribute.
So my cousin from Ohio, she made this dope jacket.
I wish she brought a picture of that.
Yeah, so
that joint is hard.
Yeah, so it's a lot that's gonna take place, and right after that, we go into our amateur fights with S.T.R.ONG Boxing. We October the 17th.
Talk about a little bit about the boxing side, because I've talked about that, but that's really one of your passions, boxing, and that's something you're really good at. Yeah. What's your connection with S.T.R.ONG and some of the connections that?
Oh man,
talk about that a little bit, man. How you guys,
the brother Pat and S.T.R.ONG, S.T.R.ONG Boxing.
Follow them on social media.
Yeah,
S.T.R.ONG Boxing.
Go S.T.R.ONG Boxing on IG, on Facebook.
Pretty much everything, right?
Yeah, what they have given me was an opportunity not only to be a coach, one of the coaches, but also one of the members as the family. Being invited and inducted into that family. We just got a shout out from Lights Out Tony.
Come on, man.
Yeah, one of our coaches.
Jane Tony?
Yeah, he gave S.T.R.ONG.
Boxing fan, y'all know it's a big deal. I ain't got to even go into that. That's a big deal.
Yeah, he gave us a shout out. So we're going to have a Gloves Over Guns event October the 16th at 17th Street Marketplace in Richmond. It's a free event. We're trying to get the donations. I'm pushing for donations from people. I posted on my Facebook page because what Pat is trying to do with the back of the gym, he's trying to do more things. So I told him like, yo, bro, you can't do this by yourself. So we trying to get more equipment because we have athletes come there. We got a lot of different people.
I'm gonna say, what's the name connected to? Is that the one Mayweather connected to?
Yeah, Jaleel Hackett. He's one of Tank and them. Yeah. So Jaleel spars with Tank. He Pat does his marketing and everything. Okay. We got another guy, Superman Rafiq. He just turned pro. Okay. Where he's like in his fourth. He about to do his fifth. He did his fifth pro debut. So yeah, we got a lot of things.
But what about your young boys? You still rocking? You still?
Nick.
That boy something. Yeah. If he stick with it, y'all be looking out for that young man.
Come out there.
That boy country strong.
Come out there and see a young kid, 15 years old, that
he want it.
He wants it bad.
I haven't seen him fully trained, but I remember one day being in the gym and he wanted to get hit. Yeah. Cause he was like, I want to know how it feels.
Yeah.
He wanted to know like, what am I supposed to expect when I get hit in the mouth and hit it? That's different, man.
Yeah, he's niggas.
He wanted to hurt, so I know how it feels.
He's sparring this weekend for some guys from out of town.
And I'm sure he want to do it.
He can't wait to Saturday morning.
I love it.
So those are the things. I love boxing. I love the discipline of it. I wish we could get more, not only kids but adults or women into it because of the fact that it helps with a lot of things. Even they said that Michael J. Fox, with Parkinson's and even Ali, the only time that he didn't shake is when he was punching the bag.
Yeah. I've seen videos where he would punch and stuff. He wouldn't shake it off. Yeah. That's crazy.
So with that, to get the health part of it,
because its benefit is more than just physical contact. Mm-hmm. Wow.
So those things right there, we're gonna put Emporio on the map with this boxing thing.
And that's what I'm talking about.
That's my word. We're gonna, with this kid with Braveheart.
That's what you call him.
Yeah.
That boy, look, y'all be in the years to come What's his name? Nick?
His real name is S.T.R.ON.G, but we call him Nick, a.k.a.
I never knew that. I'm thinking the boy named Nick.
No, S.T.R.ON, he is his real name.
Boy, tough.
At 15,
tough.
like,
Strong.
he went 10 rounds. He fought everybody in the gym.
I believe it.
Yeah. It made me let him fight one person. Like, he's like, you just not gonna let you say I gotta do.
He wanted all the smoke.
Yeah, he said. But I told them when they didn't know that he was 15. My other coaches didn't know.
Cause he don't look. He's a real muscularly built dude. Cut. You know what I'm saying?
But his maturity and the fact that I was pushing him in the deep end when he was 14. He's only been boxing for 11 months.
He that good in 11 months, bro.
Mm-hmm. So I've been pushing him and the guy, the coach, when we went up there, and the coach was like, "All the 15-year-olds got to fight today." I said, "Bro," I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, Nick about to get all this smoke." They was like, "What you mean? Nick can't fight them?"
So they think he older.
Yeah, I said, "Nick 15."
He about to punish
Coach
them.
Kareem said, "No, he ain't."
He about to punish them boys.
I said, "Nick just turned 15." He said, "You been putting him in the ring against them the whole time." I said, "Yup, this grown man, yeah." Because his boxing don't got no age.
Yeah.
And he walked the dog.
I believe it, man. Just watching him, that boy serious, man.
He walked the dog, and I said, "Okay."
Hit hard.
Yeah.
But like he studying the techniques of it, he perfected.
He's watching, and like I say now, he's learning more and more. He's listening to why.
Okay.
To why I tell him this. So yeah, and not even about me. It's all about him for real. Okay. I told him I'm not trying to live no dream of mine.
Right.
I want to give him to get the best opportunity that he can get as a young black man.
Each one teach one.
Yeah, I want him to have the opportunity to do something that he likes to do and to see the money. And what I teach him, the football team asked him to come play football. And he came to me and said, "Coach, they asked me to play football." I said, "Well, that's a decision that you have to make." I said, "But no, football is a team sport. If the team do bad, everybody do bad." I said, "Boxing is on you."
Mano y mano. He like the boxing choice better, right? Yeah.
He said, "Well, I'm a boxer."
Because he can control that.
Yeah, you're in control.
Yeah.
So those things right there, you know, and just like I say, even with you giving you your flowers, bro. Like I tell you all the time, like keep pushing. Like no matter it's difficult being a black man. It's difficult being us. It's difficult being a single man. You know, it's all that stuff. We make mistakes, you know, and we don't get forgiven.
Yeah, that's that.
We don't get forgiven for the mistakes. My ex-wife just started forgiving me.
Wow, that's serious, Jim.
Yeah. And those are the things that we have to see, like, yo.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, just know that what you're doing. That's why I tell you, keep doing your podcast. Keep doing. Though it may seem funny at the moment, but it's a greater purpose. Like, people here need to hear everybody's story or different, and some people need to don't even come on your show in front. You know what I'm saying? Just come and be.
That's what I want them to come be them.
Be you.
I try to get people to realize I really want to highlight you. I'm not gonna ask you nothing that. Here's the thing, I edit it.
Yeah.
So if we go into a conversation, and you be like, "Man, I don't want to have to edit parts out, but I'll never put a person out there."
Yeah, you should be an open book. Just know whatever you can stand for. If you're a man, stand as a man. Like, I'm quick to say, I make mistakes. I have to repent daily, and not just to the universe, to God, just to myself, to people.
Yeah, man.
You know, sometimes you have to. I wanted to one day make a national holiday of I apologize. Just a card that say with an eye on it.
And the older I get, I'm understanding. like I mean my apologies now. And some of the things I've done to people, it's like, man, being older and understanding life better, it's like, man, I really did mean that. Yeah. They won't forgive me for it, but they don't realize I was a different person. I was in a different mind frame. Like, I really didn't mean that.
And I'm still going to make some mistakes.
Still going to make some mistakes.
You know what I'm saying? Because when I stop making mistakes, you calling me to pick you up.
That's a wrap. Yeah.
When the mistakes stop being made, that means somebody's zipping the bag.
That's a wrap. Yep.
But so let me make my mistakes. Don't condemn me for them. Encourage me behind them.
I was literally just telling a young lady that earlier. Like, I was letting her know because, like I said, as I get older, I understand what it is to make mistakes. So when, especially people that's a little bit younger than me, I try to give them room to grow. And I was letting them know, like, I'm not one of the ones that's, I know you got a lot going on, but I'm here, I'm letting you know I'm not condemning you for what you got going on. I'm just making sure you're good. If you okay, cool. If you not, but I'm not judging your decision at all because you have to do that. I'm just seeing if you good. Yeah. That's it.
I just have to love you where you are.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not, look, because I mess up.
I don't have to be in love with you, but I can love you where you are. Like, that's what people don't understand. That 4-letter word, like love.
And because everybody doesn't operate that way, it's strange when a person like yourself really comes to them in love and don't have no other intention. Like, I ain't trying to, if it's a guy, look, I ain't trying to get over you. If it's a woman, I ain't necessarily trying to have sex with you. I really want to see you do good. Yeah. You know, but
because if you do good, I do good. If there's people around you doing good, it makes me. I've been to a wedding with my white clients, and I've looked and I've trained so many people in the wedding alone, and these are all my white clients, and I was blessed, and I was even and before we go, like even when the pandemic hit, and I stopped taking people money,
and I was like, Gene, you can handle the 25.
You said it, and my white client said it.
Wow.
They was like, why are you not taking our money? I was like, I just don't feel right if you're not allowed to come here.
Wow.
But to this day, they still come now. And even if all of them, they got a family plan, only one of them come. But they still pay the money.
That's a credit to what you're doing and the energy and the spirit you put into it.
Even when they had a baby, they brought a baby to see Uncle Gene.
Wow. It's amazing how many kids call you Uncle Gene, man. It's amazing. Yeah. Kid, and we can agree to wrap it up. But I've seen teenagers or something come there because that's a safe haven for them. Just come in and work out and hang out, or whatever. No charge. Clean up.
They charge us clean up or being respectful.
Yeah, be respectful. Listen to when he want to talk to him. You gonna sit there and listen. But they respect because it's somewhere safe. They can get away. Some might have something going on at home. They can come to Strong Temple, and for them few hours, because they can stay long as they want to, they have peace. You know. We're going to get to wrap it up, man. How can they get in contact, sign up, or whatever, what's going on?
www.strongtemplefit.com. That's my website.
I'll put it in the description.
Like I say, S.T.R.ON.G Temple on Facebook if you want to see what we're doing. Strong Temple 1 on Instagram. Or just stop by 407 Halifax Street in Port, Virginia.
If you're in the state, I ain't even just say the area.
Yeah, if you pass through, I got people that pass through.
I know. I've seen people.
I was looking and they said the #1 gym to go to. Yeah.
I've seen people that I might have just seen in there once, but they wanted to work out. They found a gym in there. Yeah. So anyway, man, thank you for coming through.
Yes. Sir.
And like I said, for everybody that watched, this part will only make more sense if you go back and watch the other two parts. Part 1 was I did 18 years in prison for a murder I didn't commit. Part 2 is the trial. I'm going to figure out what to name this part, but they all kind of go together. So it'd be good if you watch them all. Because that side of the story doesn't always get told. And there are stories, but a lot of times there are not enough voices to tell it. These are the ones we consider outcasts, but these are our brothers, sisters, uncles, all of that, And all of them are not guilty.
Yes, it does.
And even those that are, it ain't even a violent crime.
They just acquit. They just overturned the thing. Then the people did.
That's a slap in the face.
I think it's 70 years later.
That's a slap in the face.
That the guys were executed by electric chair
And now they overturned it.
And now the governor just signed a bill saying they were innocent.
But they did.
But their family wanted.
Well, now, if that brings peace to the family, that's out of, I'm out, that's not my place to say. But as a system, that's wrong.
Yeah.
Because they can't bring the man. Now, if you can undo it and he come back, but you can't. So, as a system, that's wrong. But, listen, man, I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah.
I appreciate you giving the information. It's a lot of nuggets in here if y'all take the time to watch. It's a lot that you might can draw from it. I know I'm going to draw more from it when I go back and watch. And like I said, if you're around, come join the gym. Come talk to him. He's fair. Simple as that. He's fair. He's going to work you hard, but he's fair. He's going to do everybody the same. I see older women, older men, younger people. He's fair across the board. He's going to push you. That's why sometimes when I go in there, I hope he don't work out with me because I don't want to be pushed that way. Because you're going to be sore, but you're going to get results. Yeah. That's the important part. Regardless of what happens, you get results and you're going to feel better from the conversation. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap this up. And you never know, we're going to see Gene back at some point because this story doesn't end.
We come back when we win this fight.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
So let Nick tell you how his experience of becoming
I would love to get Nick in here and talk about it. Y'all don't understand this guy, this young man's passion for this. You need to see it for yourself. So once he win, hopefully he can get it back up in here and let him speak for himself, you know. Before we go, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit like. Comment, y'all. Share it. We do all of that stuff. Let's engage in the conversation. We back to bringing y'all good quality content and conversations. And last but not least, be kind to yourself. Regardless of what you got going on, be kind to yourself. We all going through it, y'all.
That's it.
Love yourself. Love those around you. Be kind to yourself. All right, until next time, y'all. Peace. That was good, Jay. That was good.